Hello everyone, it's Muzik back again with the Survivor's Guide to Life, and today we are going to be talking about life patterns and how they can affect our lives either positively or negatively. We're just going to go through it slowly but slowly and get to this together. So today, as we watch on, we are going to be talking about discovering life patterns and discovering and getting to know your life patterns. And I'm going to be sharing with you the power of understanding the patterns in your life and understanding these patterns and how they form up your life and who you are today, and how amazing and how beautiful it is to understand them and how useful they can be for your life right now. So I'll share this through a story because that's what I do best. So my life, I've grown up from a young age. I think if you've heard from the past episodes, I've grown up. I was abandoned by my mom when I was 5, and my mom left me, and so I had to grow up without my mom. I never knew my dad. So I grew up just there, and as a young kid, never knew where I was heading. I never knew what was next. So I grew up and, I just go to school as other kids. God gave me the opportunity to go to school. So I go to school, I studied, I got the opportunity to learn English. Now I can speak English, not as good as you, but I can speak English, and so I was able to learn, I was able to grow. I was given the opportunity to know Christ at a young age, and I just get saved and live a life just living for God. And I think there's nothing more beautiful than that I have experienced so far in my life. So now, thinking of my journey and being abandoned and being rejected, after that, I think from the past episodes, I also shared with you about this lady that I loved, and for a very long time she never wanted me, very, very long time, until I had to let go and say, you know what, I think I'm not gonna manage this anymore, and I have to move on, and I have to let go. And that is an episode that we showed also, that I talked about let go. So now, if you watch that episode, then you'll know where I'm heading right now. So, my life, I've lived in a life that I was rejected, and I never want someone to be rejected. I grew up in a life that I never wanted, and I never want anybody to feel rejected. I never wanted anybody to feel like they're left behind, or somebody to feel like they're hated, because the patterns of my life came in a position that I was rejected, so I know the pain of rejection. I was left behind, so I know the pain of being left behind. So now, since I know the pain of being left behind, that's something I never wanted anybody to experience, or anybody to know, or anybody to have to experience once in their lifetime. So I've done that every time of my life. Every time I think about it, I think even in high school, in my schooling, every time I tried to make a friend, I tried to make a friend who is the other people that are normally left behind in the community. There are always these people that you see in the community, and they're like left kind of behind, and they're lagging, and people don't care about them. So O level, I tried to just always have this kind of communication, and try to always have this network and build a relationship with someone that seemed like they're kind of left behind. So I will come to the point where I'm heading, but I just tell this story. So, I think when I think about my O level, I just had this friend who was from a poor background, and kind of everybody thought she was not someone to connect with, not worth it. So people didn't want to connect. So, but somehow I always felt this this sympathy. Somehow I felt this, you know, my heart pulling me to always connect to her. So I connected to her, and going to my advanced level of high school too, I had another friend like that who it was always a matter of, I want to befriend someone who's been left behind. I want to befriend someone who people don't care about, who people don't want to be with, who people don't want to hang out with, who people see like they shouldn't be a part of the community or something. You all know about this. So I grew up in a life where I just wanted to connect to such people, and everywhere, if I analyze my whole system of life, I've just lived that life. So now, 3 years ago, I met a guy, and this guy was had a story, and I love stories. So he called me and he wanted to talk to me. So I sat down with him and he shared me his story. He had grown up, and his mom had died at a young age, and he has grown up with a stepmom and with his dad. But his stepmom had influenced the stepdad to actually hate him. So eventually he was chased out of the house and went to stay on the street, and his life just kept on moving onto the street. So now he came to church and he was able to meet me, and he called to meet with me. So I met him and he talked to me and he told me about his life, and I asked him questions about his life, and I came to the knowledge that he's been rejected and he's now been loved. So now I was like, okay, you know what? Make me your brother. I would love to be your brother. I would love to be here for you. So we got throughout this journey. He wants to invest in some business. I had small money as a high school student, so I gave him some money to start a business. He did, and then after high school, this guy tells me, you know what? Life is so bad. Life is so tough. Things are so complicated, and please help me find some place to stay. So I found him a place to stay. He came into my house, lived for some time, and told him a few skills and a few stuff, some stuff to just believing one day maybe he would come out into somebody and work out his life, and maybe work out to develop himself. So now, beautifully, a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, I had gone to another location, and we had separated, and he was living his life and I'm living my life, growing out my career in music, and growing my spiritual life at church and school, university, and all these things. So I'm like, we would spend some time not together. Now he calls me and he's going through this hard time, and I'm like, all right, what can I do? How can I help you? And this guy tells me, right, how I would love you to help me is, please give me a place to stay. So I called him and I told him, come and stay in my house, because that's all I had to offer and that's all I had. So he came out. I knew it was hard and complicated, and I felt like, I've been living alone for some time now, so I don't want to live with anybody. I just want to stay alone, but if that's all I can do right now, okay, so then I'll do that. So now I had to just do what I can. So I gave him a place to stay. He came to stay with me. I tried my best. I tried to find some money to help him out. And eventually, the guy, before he left, I found him some little money just to help him out, and then something happened. Yeah, he unfortunately wasn't a very good guy as I thought. Things happened. A few things, my stuff was stolen, and a few things he took, and then he left. So I've also had another friend in life that we've just had a long journey together. So now, a few days ago, I had to sit down. I sat down with my friend, and they took me through a journey that I had never been before. They took me through a journey of my history, highlighted to me about my rejection and the rejection I felt from my mom. Felt the rejection, and saw the rejection I had from my past relationship. If you watched the episode where I talked about let go. Also, just the fact that I've been living in life trying to make sure someone who is rejected in the community, I find space. And this is not bad. This is not bad, but I'll come to this part. So now, since I've been living like that, I've always had a struggle with feeling like I can't let anybody go, because I feel like someone is gonna feel pain and someone is gonna have to go through something. But unfortunately, my life, I forgot about myself. I forgot about myself, and I forgot about my personal care, and I forgot about self-love. I forgot about to take care of myself, and I forgot about thinking about where I'm heading and who I am as a person. And I've dedicated all my time, and I've dedicated all my life, and I've dedicated all my love to people, and I've dedicated all my concentration and everything to people. That sometimes, and most of the time, we end up getting hurt in moments because of our patterns of life that we've gone through. Cut me right. This message is not a message to refuse you or to tell you never do good, because that's humanity, and that is the message, and that is true love, and that is true being. But now, I just want to tell you that this day, I want to share with you the message of spend time with yourself, and don't lose yourself amidst situations. Don't leave yourself, and don't forget yourself amidst situations of taking care of others and giving everything to people, because somehow you lose yourself amidst the storms. Somehow you lose yourself amidst the situation, and you don't find yourself anymore, and you don't get yourself anymore, and somehow you feel like somehow you're lost amidst something. Your life gets messed up and disorganized, but somehow you don't understand why. But in fact, it is because you're trying to offer yourself to people, and somehow you don't find time for yourself. When I speak about life patterns, I want to take you through a journey in your life. I want you to take this moment and reflect and think about your life. Therefore, brothers and sisters, allow me to encourage you to love yourself. Allow me to encourage you to break free from the patterns of your life that has caused you to be in a time where you take decisions that aren't healthy for you and are leading you to a toxic relationship, or leading you to a life that is not only about you, that just is leading you astray. Please love yourself, treasure yourself. You are amazing, and you are beautiful, and you're powerful, and you're loved. Okay? So please break free from any patterns in your life that could be leading you to a position in your life that you don't want to be in currently. The music and with the Survivor's Guide to Life and we have so much more coming your way. We can't forget to appreciate the Sonoma Coast Trauma Treatment. Thank you so much for sponsoring the Survivor's Guide to Life. Such an amazing privilege. Thank you. I appreciate it.